The following is a fan-based discussion. All properties discussed are property of Toei Inc., Bandai, Hasbro, and Subaru Productions.
Anyway, hey everybody, and welcome back to Tokucast Reviews.
Hello. Welcome back to O's again.
How many videos do we just start laughing for no reason?
About 15.
To the audience.
There's been a couple.
Yeah.
Also, I do want to point out, this is the first episode that we filmed post that video going up on Wednesday. I love every bit of the hate that I got for the bottom 10 extra Kamen Riders list. It gave me life. It gave me glory. And I cannot wait until we get to the build review where that recency bias will not be a thing. Because I will point out some things that are going to make people mad. And you gotta admit, if you think about it, it makes sense.
Moving on.
But thank you all for watching the video and for commenting and for hating and for loving and for everything else. Anywho, we today are reviewing Kamen Rider Cross Kamen Rider O's and W featuring Skull Movie War Core. Try that 5 times fast.
Or don't.
Or just don't.
Or just don't.
This is the second time I've ever seen this movie. I watched it last night. And I'm just sitting here like, wow, why?
This is the second time I've watched this movie.
Yep.
I watched it a couple of weeks ago in preparation for this, and I still hate it.
It's not good.
I think this
Okay,
movie
I hate half of it. Is that better?
I hate a good...
You like it more than I do, then.
Well, I don't mind the skull stuff.
Good for you. I hate the skull stuff.
I love the skull stuff, but it was few and far in between.
True. I'll give you that.
Okay, so this movie follows a structure that I know, unless our opinions have changed recently, I know none of us like the structure, which is
It's shitty.
Here's an episode of W, here's an episode of O's, let's get together and fight a big CGI monster for 10 minutes.
I'm so happy this got canceled with Drive.
Mm.
Like, this is the thing I hate about the older crossover movies. The fact that they do it
I thought it
like
got
this.
canceled with Wizard.
The Drive.
No, because Wizard, you had the beginning with the Nazuman and
Oh, yeah.
everything else.
It's the Drive Ghost movie
That
that makes them actually come together in the one cohesive story throughout the whole thing. The
No,
older
I gotta-
way...
You know,
gotta
like a real movie.
I got it confused with the next writer showing up in the movie for 5 seconds.
Oh, no. Yeah, this...
That does happen in this, though.
Yeah.
Or not this, but
The other O's movie we haven't talked about yet.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, I hate the old style of doing this. It's so shitty.
It's bad.
It is not good.
And that's honestly one of the worst things I can say about it is that structure really puts a damper on it, because you go to see a movie, imagine you're a little kid, you find out that the last Kamen Rider, which you loved, and this current Kamen Rider, which you also love, are going to be in a movie together.
Woo!
Yay! Then you go watch the movie and you're like, when are they going to get together? I imagine watching this movie again, I imagine myself as a young Japanese kid whose parents took him to see this movie, and I'm just sitting there going, Mom, when are they going to team up?
The thing
When
is...
are they going to team up?
Do you often imagine yourself as a young Japanese boy?
Oh, every day.
In reference to this. You know what's actually worse about this? The fact that O's already knows them.
That's true.
Yeah.
They know each other.
They know each other.
Because of O showing up.
And I think the reason for that, well, that's part of it, but I think another reason is because they meet each other so late in the movie. We don't have time for any introductions. So it's like, hey you, fight!
Sounds like any Street Fighter opening. But yeah, it's just
That's also
the fact
true.
that they know,
Tatsukai Toast.
the fact that they know each other is it'll be worse in the next team up movie because all three of them are there.
Oh,
Yeah.
They all know each other. But I'm sitting here like, all right, we have Foundation X. Why could they have not done this as sort of a thing against them? But it is what it is. This movie
Because
like 7 years
we
old.
wanted to use Skull again for some reason.
Oh
But
God,
but-
this movie is
Because we start off, this movie is 2010,
it's 8 years old.
9 years old. now.
9.
Well, not until the end of 2010.
Well, till the end of 20. Yeah, okay, but still,
Old.
This movie's
it's
8
not
years.
that. It's not that old.
It's 8 years and a month old.
Anywho.
Anyway,
But we begin with the Skull portion, or the W portion, I should say, where we start out with W fighting a Pteranodon Yummy, and then we're interrupted by Ryu wearing a tuxedo, and he's all scared because for some strange reason he and Akiko are getting married.
this movie doesn't start off with the W portion.
Mm-hmm.
It starts off with the O's portion. The W portion is second, for some reason. I don't get it. And it sucks.
But anyway,
Since we've already started the W portion.
I'm just reading what's first on the synopsis.
Yeah, I think it just went out like Kamen Rider order instead of actual order. But anyway, we can start with the W portion.
Yeah. It's terrible.
It's the worst. And you want to know why it's the worst?
Why is that?
Why is that, Marcus?
Fucking Akiko exists.
Oh my goodness. This... I want to put my arm around Axel, take him off to the side, and then like throttle him and say, "What is it you see in her?
You can do better.
What is it you see in her?"
I'm pretty sure you have done better.
I would second that statement. But goodness, but yeah, Akiko has banned them from being Kamen Riders, despite the fact that there are monsters and they are a danger to the public. But no, I'm a selfish little bitch and I hate Kamen Riders. That's
like, girl, they saved the city multiple times.
Exactly. But
what is your problem?
But no, we have to have her travel back in time and see her dad do something useful, and then she can be like, "Oh, Kamen Riders are actually not that bad."
Yeah, they use the memory, Gaia memory, and the Pteranodon Yumi does, and makes her see the past where her father became the skull for the first time.
And then she was like, "Oh, he was actually cool. Okay, Kamen Riders are allowed again."
I'm pretty sure the guy who plays the Spider Dopant in the past wasn't something else. I can't remember what.
I will say we do have a spider and a bat again as our villains.
Kamen Rider. That's
just a little throwback to the old school stuff.
The girl who plays the Bat Dopant is the sister from Ghost who became Necron Pink for 5 seconds. Mm. That's a thing that happened.
Woo.
I want to fact check that because that's interesting, I guess.
Anyway.
It's more interesting than this stupid movie.
True. But anyway.
Yeah, she was in Ghost.
Woo.
Aaliyah and Alicia.
So, yeah, which the guy who plays Nobunaga in the second half of the O's portion.
Guess we're getting there now.
Is in Tokucast. He's Zed.
Oh. A character we like. What a relief.
But yeah, the W portion of this movie is painful to get through because Akiko exists.
Akiko exists. It's also just not a good story.
It's really fucking not.
It's just a boring story.
It's mostly there to show off Skull.
Yeah.
They show off Skull, but Skull was already shown off enough, I think, in the previous movie.
And he's still cool.
And he's still not a bad character, but
he has the best line ever in his the second best line ever in this movie.
There's a cool moment where the Bat Dopant is pinned under, what is it, like a tanker?
Yeah,
some sort of gas tanker. It's getting ready to explode, and she reaches out for help. She says, "Dasuke, help me!" And
he just says, "Can't."
Can't.
And just walks away.
Walks away. Explosion.
And I'm sitting here like, "Oh, that's so cool." And
but this movie still sucks.
This movie still sucks.
The W portion is really ruined because of Akiko.
I think it's ruined because of everything that's in it. It's just a terrible, terrible thing, regardless of Akiko.
Let's move on to the O's portion.
Okay, so Kogami decides it's going to be a great idea to bring Oda Nobunaga back from the dead.
Which, if other games have shown us, it's never a good idea to do that. Ever.
Bringing Nobunaga back from the dead always does seem to end in disaster.
Yes, it does.
So don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that, kid. Moral of the story. PSA, don't bring ancient Japan rulers back from the dead.
And
because they'll just wreck stuff.
Because he comes back and decides to kill the people, like the descendants of the people who stabbed him. Because, he had a full Julius Caesar moment, more or less.
Yeah.
And he decides to kill the descendants of those who killed him in the past. And, yeah. No.
So fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Like, his actor, because we've acknowledged this before, Zed is pretty good as an actor.
Yes.
I love the fact that he just comes in, he's really not there at the beginning because he's still getting used to the modern era. Next thing you know, he takes over a company. Mm-hmm. Because that's how Nobunaga do.
That's how Nobunaga do in 2 minutes of screen time.
And of course, one of the first people he meets is Eiji. Mm-hmm. So that's how that whole thing...
Well, he's the protagonist, he has to.
Yeah, so they end up, more or less getting together throughout most of this.
Oh, he was also in Fies.
He's been around for a while. I forget, he doesn't look as old as he is. Japanese people.
He was he was born in 81, so...
He's 10 years older than me. He just really does not look it. He looks younger than me.
Yeah.
Gact barely looks older than me. Fuck him. He's a goddamn vampire.
You vampire.
Yeah, this movie. A couple of firsts in this, I think, because they sort of make big deals out of it. In O's portion, this is the first time that we get to see Sargozo.
Sargozo?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. You make a big deal out of Sargozo coming in. And I was like, I think this is the first time they've actually shown it because it one-shots Nobunaga. But then again, Sargozo's sort of broken AF.
You're about to say Sargozo was like the most fun thing to play in Batride War.
It is. Tajidor gets better in the third one.
Yeah, because it can't only just do just that stupid sweeping attack that has no hit radius whatsoever.
The memory, the M memory, is combined with the black core metals that Nobunaga had inside of him. Because that was the thing that came out of
But does it make a giant CGI monster that's on fire?
What a coincidence. Yes, it does.
Because it's in every fucking team-up movie ever.
It's actually worse in this one because, one, they just try to make it look like the original Kamen Rider.
Yeah.
They tried to make it look like the original Kamen Rider, and he's missing. He's got Rayman syndrome in that he's missing parts of his limbs, and his hands are just kind of detached.
I'm going to punch you way over here, but instead I'm going to use green lasers. And destroy a city, and they're not really going to worry about it. Nobunaga becomes birth randomly.
Yeah, that's the thing that happens.
In this.
But then you remember birth doesn't matter, so nobody cares.
Then the actual birth shows up later when he and Axel fight together after Axel tells Akiko, no. I have people to protect. That includes you. Now stop being a fucking idiot and get out of my way.
If only he actually said it like that.
That would have been funny.
And then they get married at the end, but who cares? Because then we have the whole gigantic CGI fight scene that goes to the core of the earth, which has the funniest scene.
For the record, I don't have a problem with CGI fight scenes. I have a problem with bad movies.
This has
bad CGI fight scenes.
Probably one of the funniest scenes.
It's fine. The CGI is fine for a Japanese movie.
Especially because, a lot of the Rider movies are pretty cheaply made in most cases.
True.
But it has the funniest scene and probably one of the funniest scenes of any Kamen Rider.
You're talking about when they kick, they're the Earth's core, they kick it. They
go no, it's before that.
Okay, what's that?
It's when Shotaro sees Ankh. And he sees the floating arm. He's like, no! I thought it was
he just
great.
Freaks out.
Yeah, he's just like, no! 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 I forgot that scene happens in this movie because I try to just forget this movie.
Yeah.
But it's hilarious when he sees Ankh for the first time. He was like, don't worry, he's just a friend of mine. He was like, no, that is a floating arm. That is not okay.
I'm not okay with this.
And then we get, what was it? Fucking extreme gold wing form or some shit?
After Oz goes Tajidor for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the wind from Tajidor goes into the extreme marine turns into
as it does, because that makes sense. That makes sense.
Honestly, there's a lot of things in this that are in conflict with the continuity of the show. So
the thing that makes no sense, well, more so than usual, is when they're coming at each other from core.
Yeah.
And Oz is going back up towards the surface of Japan.
Yeah. And W's not.
And then W goes up to the surface of Japan, and Oz ends up in Rio de Janeiro.
Yeah, he winds up in Brazil where he meets Chiyoko, who is taking place in Carnival.
And they apparently miss Carnival because everybody's in the city is gone.
Wah, wah.
I'm sitting here how do you do that? Also, where did you get these other three people?
Wah, wah.
They're just extras.
This movie is shit.
Yeah, it's awful.
It's not great.
It's not a very good movie.
Movies that... God. I cannot wait till we get to the Drive Ghost one, even though it messes with the continuity of Drive.
Mm-hmm.
It really
messing with continuity is something all these movies kind of do.
Yeah.
The only one that it doesn't do that with is the X8 Ghost movie. They make sure to not do it that way.
Which is one of your favorites, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm. It's probably my favorite of the team-up movies. My favorite standalone one is the one we're going to be doing when we get to Forza.
Yes.
What's your favorite standalone movie?
That movie's great.
I'm not saying it's not, but I just did not expect it to be his favorite.
That's my favorite.
Mine too.
That I can believe. That I just expected different from him.
I just remember I was watching it in college and having the immense amount of fun.
No, no, absolutely.
But yeah, back to this.
Which is the opposite of what we have in this movie.
Yeah,
So,
this movie is shite. I'm sitting here like, why? Why? Stop.
Yeah, let's go ahead and stop then. So, we think we've yelled about it as much as we can. We've covered all the
Next,
bases.
we're doing the Shogun movie.
We're doing the Shogun movie and we're doing the Ozdeno movie.
Let's go Kamen Riders, which is the actual 40th anniversary. Even though Forza is the 40th anniversary.
Well, it's the 40th anniversary series versus the 40th anniversary movie celebration.
Also, isn't next year? Is it next year? This is the 20th Heisei anniversary this year. Next year, or is it? I think they might be doing it 20 to 2021. Is his 45th anniversary of Rider?
Okay.
So Matt
doesn't care.
Nope, not even a little bit.
So anyway, thank you all for joining us. This has been Tokucast. Follow us on all the things, including Twitter, Instagram, Patreon, Facebook, Discord.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.